To page Kufnun Aleph and reading along a number Yud Ches. There's a lot of arichos on this whole thing here. So let's start at number Tes Zion, so I could get a little running start. So number Tes Zion up above says V'chazivug hazer na'asa al-yedecha b'yesod ha'elyon shehu loshen d'arich anpen. So we're talking about this upper yichud. It's a lashon medeberes gedolos, which is that's a translation, I guess. Va'inyan hu ki halashon mezaveg esachech v'ragorim, so that the tongue makes a yichud between these two parts of the mouth. Umamshech tipas hachasadim min achech. So what happens? The chasadim are in the chech. It has to do with chochma, but tipas ha'gevuros min hagoron. So we're getting close to where we are. So now we have Mayim Nukvin and Mayim Duchrin. 1 second, please. And he says min hagoron. But the chein nikra lashon medeberes. So therefore, it's called the speaking tongue. It's lashon zivug. Yechazivug hu b'sod dibur. That's where we're at right now. I'm going to pop down to number Yud Ches down at the bottom here and see what we can learn from this. So in this verse of Rei Be'etz Chaim, he says over there, Sham, and he says that's in Shar Lamed Tes, that's Shar Tal, Perik Yud Dalet. Ezev Losha B'dilug, V'amam Gam HaNishikim Hu B'sod Zivug. So also the concept of kissing. So I'm not sure where that's going. He said, which has to do with the mouth. We know that kind of phrase. So what does it mean, Lashon? And this is a Lashon Yichud. Also over there. So he's just bringing us a background on where we get this idea from, also in the Mavam Sharm, also other places. So now this was a little bit of the confusion that we had saw yesterday, that sometimes it's called Yesod and sometimes it's called tongue, or it's called, Das. So this is just the word lishon, just by itself, I guess. But that's not the same thing as the tongue that speaks. Shuhu rak b'lashon ha'elyon, but which is really only talking there about the one in the mouth, dibor, which has also at the same time the concept of dibor. So which means gedolos. He ne hatiferes who sod os vav ravrava. So let's say this again. So he says this is the concept of the, I guess he says the big vav. What do we mean? What about big vav? By Yesod who sod os vav zeira kanaita. So he says what? If the yesh the var bezesha midas ravavim, I'm looking for the word das, but he says tiferes instead, because we know that tiferes is the vav. So the big vav is tiferes, and the little vav is zeira kanaita, is yisod. So he says this is also, you can see this in the Zohar, v'od v'chein rei be'etz chaim. Also look over there in the Eitz Chaim, where he says Chaim, where he said v'hi nechad l'lashon ha'elyon hu dechilas oz vav ravava. So the upper tongue is the concept of the vav, of the big vav. Now he didn't. I wanted him to say das, but he didn't say das. He wanted us to say that the vav really has to do. He says who dechilas oz vav ravava kamavura b'nai shalom. He says etc. And also in the Shem Eitz Chaim he says Masha ein kein yesod shuhu lashon tachton hu oz vav zeira. V'chein nikra lashon elyon b'shem lishon mamala ravavim gedolos. So that didn't. I wanted him to say das. He said. I understand. You could say the big vav. Of course, it would be tiferes. But anyway, we're talking here about the generation of that vav, I guess. V'hi bibir hagroa, according to the Grokan, he said, bibir b'zech b'zel l'shona b'tok devarav, he said, b'kol zeh hu b'erik anpin, canal. Shesham hakol hu b'sod gedolos, because the word gedolos, or has to do with Erik Anpin, Lashon Medeberes Gedolos. Kiyadua, so he said that's a pasuk, so let's go on and let's see what else he said. Kiyadua b'sham hu arichu diyumim, another place of that, the long days, I guess. He's in Sham. Again, b'shar mamari Rashby, he says the befarish milus b'loshen b'malu ravavim haniskarim be'idrizuta, the Iyar b'zivug hech v'garan, the zer anpin, besod abba v'ima shall rosh zer anpin, and this is the secret of the abba v'ima of the rosh zer anpin. Now I moved over to zer anpin here. V'im came to b'vucher the shayach lomar b'mal ravavim gedolas gam b'zer anpin, so it also can be attached to the concept of zer anpin. Okay. So it didn't say what I wanted it to say, but I guess it doesn't have to. So let's read on, just go backwards a little bit and read on from number Yud Ches. Number Yud Ches said, V'hi nechem ba'achar kach yored atipa the mata derek chut hashidra. So it goes down the spinal cord, he says, of Erik Anpin, we're talking, ad Yesod the Erik Anpin, until it reaches the place of the Yesod of Erik Anpin. Okay, let's go on from that. Begama Yesod and Nikra Lashon. So also the Yesod is called Lashon. Ki kav emsoy maskil l'malach b'lashon shebepeh. So he says also, the middle line, it begins up above in the Lashon, which is the tongue, shebepeh, umistayim l'matach b'yesod, and it ends down below. So let me just read it again. He says the Yesod is called Lashon, because he wants to say why would the Yesod be called Lashon if we know that the Lashon really refers to the tongue, which is in the mouth. So he said ki kav emsoy, because it means to say that the kav emsoy really starts in the mouth, l'mal b'lashon, at the place of the tongue. So I think he wants to say that even in the mouth of Erik Anpin, you see the concept of what I want to say, a balance, that it's in between, it's balancing the right and left, even over there. And that same concept of the balance line, that's where it starts, but it really ends up down below in the Yesod. Well, I just said out what he said, what the Pirish says. So we got to number Kaf. So because there's an arichas here, and I don't really remember what I like about it, let's see what it says. Call kavem soy, a call of das, the Ferris and Yesod. So now he's helping me out here a little bit with my das idea. Who sowed the lashon on mashakel? So this is the concept of the balancing tongue. So he says mishko. I guess he means the balance. Is a lishan the kaima be'emseisa, it's the tongue which is standing in the middle. Ein sham v'rei b'derek emes. So I guess he's really still working on. That's what these makoros, the tziyunim, are really working on, the origin of the ideas of who's saying what. So he said, that's it. I think we're done. That was a very short shear, but it's one of those things. That's it.